Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. Um, we're gonna get into this on this early Saturday morning. Y'all know I never go live on Saturdays anymore, but I said I would because I didn't go live, like I didn't come back to y'all last night. So what we're gonna do is this. Today we're talking about goal setting and living in percentages. And the reason why we're gonna talk about this because a lot of people I learned this when I was working in collections. When I worked in collections, I used to make like huge bonus checks. And I'm saying, like, we're going to talk about 5-figure bonus checks every month just to make sure y'all paid y'all student loans. Don't judge me. That's just what I had to do. You do what you got to do to survive in these streets. Okay. So that's what we had to do. And that's what we did. So I want to talk to you guys about, oh, thank you. Hey, Sivy, how you doing? This is I want to talk to you guys about living in percentages and how that's going to benefit you, especially if you are going to be a full-time real estate investor or a full-time real estate entrepreneur. In order to make this work, you first have to set goals. So in order to have something to have a percentage of, we got to set goals. So what I want you guys to do is this: grab your pens, grab your papers, and your calculators. Y'all know what we do around here. This is work time. We don't just come listen to me talk. We have to actually participate. Okay. So what I would like you guys to know is this: when you set goals for wholesaling real estate, the first thing you need to do is you work backwards. And that's with any goal that you're going to have. You're going to work backwards. So at first, you want to know, what's the end goal? How much money do you want to make per year? Okay. So get your notebooks out. See, got mine. Get your notebooks out. And let's talk about how much money do you want to make per year wholesaling real estate. So say you're just starting out, and I don't know why y'all come up with these low numbers. When you really start seeing what you can make in real estate, you'll see why I say that. So say you want to make $100,000, because everybody's 6 figures is like a magic number for everybody. But y'all do realize 900,000 is 6 figures too, right? Just saying, in case y'all was wondering why you're so low. But okay. So $100,000, that's your goal. Now, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that number and then you're going to divide it by 12, right? That's what everybody does. So we take $100,000. We're going to divide that by 12. That gives you $8,333.33 to infinity. So 8,400. I don't do all those numbers because I believe you should always want more for yourself. So we don't do traditional math rules where I would round down to 8,000. No, we're going to round up to 8,400. Okay. That's number one. Now, so you need $8,400 a month. Now, if you're full-time wholesaling, and I'm going to do this for full-time and I'm going to do it for part-timers, okay? If you are full-time wholesaling, that means you have no other job but to wholesale real estate. Now, if that's what you're doing, I want you guys to start thinking about this. The first goal you're going to set after this dollar amount, and you figure out how much you need a month, is how many hours per day you're going to work. And I know y'all thought I was going to say something totally different, and it's not. How many hours a day are you going to work? You're going to work about, well, you should be working 40 hours because you're just starting out. So that would give you 8 hours a day. Now, depending on how you break that 8 hours up, are you going to cold call for 4 hours? Are you going to send letters for 4 hours? Are you going to send text messages for 4 hours? What are you going to do in those 4 hours? So let's just say today is a day when you're going to cold call. Take it from me, someone who worked in a call center. If you are doing nothing but making phone calls for a set number of time, you are not going to be effective for 8 solid hours. There's no way. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm going to tell you how many phone calls you should be making an hour, and then I'm going to tell you how many I made per hour. Because there's a huge difference in how many you should be making and how many you actually make. There is not a person on this planet that is effectively working 8 solid hours a day. No, you break it up. And then you say, I've been working for 10 hours. No, you have not worked 10 straight hours. Now, if you're in a factory and you're on the line, you're doing things like that, yeah, you're actively working. But there's not a real estate investor out there that can say they worked 8 to 10 to 12 solid hours every single day. They're not doing that. What they're doing is they'll get up, we're time blocking. Okay. So when you time block, you do this from 8 to 10. I'm going to work. I'm going to do this. From 10 to 12, I'm going to do this. And set your timers if you have to, but you guys have to learn how to time block. That's the problem. Okay. Now, so if I'm working 8 hours a day, because I'm a new wholesaler and I'm not doing anything else but wholesaling real estate, I'm working 8 hours a day. If I am fair to myself and to my business, I'm only going to be effective for 6 hours. You might work 6 hours. Now, I'll give everybody that. Everybody can work at least at 6 solid hours before they need a break, before they have to go to the bathroom, before they need something to eat, before they just need to stretch their legs, crack their neck a little bit. Everybody needs that. So what I want you guys to understand in this is if you're working 6 hours, okay, then you should be making, as far as phone calls, if you don't talk to anybody and you're not leaving any messages, and I'm going to tell you why you're not supposed to do that too, okay? In the morning, if you're working that morning shift, you shouldn't be leaving messages. Nobody should be leaving messages on the first phone call. That's rule number 1 in collections and customer service. Nobody should be leaving messages on the first phone call, because you want to recycle that list and call them back later. Okay. Now, so if you don't talk to anybody for the 6 hours, you should be making a minimum of 100 phone calls an hour. I'm sorry, 25 phone calls an hour. So 25 phone calls an hour times 6 hours. That's 150 phone calls for that day. Okay. That's how that breaks down. And y'all sitting there, y'all probably looking at me like, I'm not making that many phone calls. Neither was I. I just told you should make 150 calls a day. You know how many I made? 30. Know how much money I made? Like I said, I was making $10,000 bonus checks. I made over 6 figures a year working in collections, collecting on y'all defaulted student loans. I say y'all's because I paid mine. Okay. So, and no disrespect to y'all, but I'm just saying that's what I did. That's the cost in our work. And that's what I was doing. I went from collecting all the way up to assistant vice president in the different collection agencies that I worked for. So I know what I'm talking about. I did it for a long time. Now, and I worked the Department of Education contract for 15 years. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, if I'm telling you I made 30 and I still was able to make 6 figures, y'all probably like, well, wait a minute. If she made 30, if I make more phone calls, I'll make more money. Wrong. The reason why I made 6 figures off 30 phone calls is because I work smart and not hard. And that's what you have to do. You have to work smart. Now, let me give y'all the what's what on working smart with a list. A bunch of y'all, and y'all can put it in the comments. I want y'all to put in the comments if this is you as a wholesaler. You get a list and you just start making calls, because some of y'all got your own dialers. And you get a list and you just start making phone calls. You don't have a time set. You don't have how many calls you're going to make that day. Nothing. That's where you go wrong. Make sure you put in there from 8 to 10 calling. From 10 to 12, you might want to mail some letters out. Or you might want to do follow-up. Or you might want to hit a text blast at that time. See what I'm saying? Organize your day. That's the problem. Y'all don't know how to organize y'all day. Y'all sitting and y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. No, I ain't crazy. I know exactly what I'm doing. Oh, Arnie said he's been leaving messages on the first phone call. And that's something I teach people not to do. Do not do that, because you're going to recycle the list and call it back later that afternoon. Especially if you're using your own dialer, you can just recycle the list and call it back later that day. So now that's 4 hours. From 8 to 10, you're making phone calls. From 10 to 12, you're mailing letters, follow up, text blasts, whatever you want to do. And then, or you might be skip tracing, which I think is a crazy time to skip trace, but I'll tell you about that in a minute too. And even with people working from home, y'all got to get out of your minds. A lot of people are working from home now, so I can call them whenever I want. Yeah, you can. They're not going to talk to you because they still got to work, and they're still working those same hours as if they were in the office. So you have to be able to balance that out a little bit. All right. Be careful with that. Now, if they tell you to call them during the middle of the day, oh yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Call me in the middle of the day, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people, that's why a lot of people, even though you're calling them at home, they're telling you, I can't meet you until after 5 o'clock because they're working from home. All right. So you got to remember that. Then you say, oh, from 12 to 2, I'm going to eat lunch. Let me tell y'all what I do. Eat lunch, take a walk. Yep. I take a walk at 11, though. Won't be today because I'm on here with y'all. So I usually take a lunch around at 11 o'clock. I take a walk. When I come back from the walk, I take a shower and I eat lunch. That's just what I do. I'm telling you guys how you don't have to have the same schedule I have, but I'm telling you, you need to have a schedule. So now let's talk about this money thing. So now that you know how many hours you're going to work a day, you know how many phone calls you're going to make an hour. So that's 150 phone calls a day. How many days a week are you going to call? Let's be real. Y'all, I mean, if you lax about it, you're only going to make those phone calls 2 or 3 days a week. And you're going to think you're doing something and you're not. Okay. This is why I encourage you guys to, if you aren't going to be effective when you make your phone calls, this is why I suggest you get a virtual assistant to make those phone calls for you. Because this is your business. And if you can't, and if you're not going to make those phone calls, somebody else needs to be making those phone calls to get those leads for you. So now 150 phone calls a day. Let's see. Let's go 5 days a week. So 150 a day times 5 days a week, that's 750 phone calls. Okay. Now, out of 750 phone calls, you might get 2, 3 leads. Okay. Maybe 4. On a good week, you should get 4 leads a week. If they're making anywhere over 750 to plus over 1,500 phone calls a week, you should be getting at least 4 leads. Okay. Even if they're not all going to close, you should be getting at least 4 leads. So let's say 4 leads a week. There's 52 weeks a year. So what's 4 times 52? Y'all see why y'all need y'all calculators when y'all engage with me? That's the rule of engagement. That's 208. That's 208 leads a year. Now, y'all know y'all not closing that many deals a year. Everybody's not going to sell you their house. Every house is not going to be a good deal. People say they want to sell, but some of them are going to be playing around with you. So let's just say for kicks and giggles, you're only going to close maybe 20%. Yep, 20%. If that, now it's usually about 10, but maybe 20%. So times 20%, you're at 41.6. We round it up to 42. So you're going to be able to close 42 deals a year. Now, 42 deals a year, divide that by 12. And that's 3.5. You're going to round down. So that's 3 deals a month. Gives you 36 closed deals. Got it? Okay. So now you're at 36 deals. Remember, you need $8,400 a month. So if you're closing 3 deals a month and you need to get to this 8,400 divided by 3 is $2,800. That would be your assignment fee. That would be the minimum assignment fee that you could get on each and every deal. $2,800. And y'all sitting around and telling me, no, I need 10,000 and 15,000 and 20,000 on every deal. That is not how this works. You have to have numbers behind your plan. Because if you don't have numbers in place to make the plan work, you're not going to work. Now, let's keep it real. Okay. 28, you closing 3 deals a month, minimum is going to be about 5,000. I'm being honest. On average, your assignment fee is going to be 5,000. So this is why I tell you guys are reaching too low. If my goal is 5,000 and I can close 3 deals a month, that puts me at $15,000 a month times 12. I'm at $180,000 for the year. Now, how can I say that? I said on average, you might get an assignment fee for 20,000. You might get one for 10,000. You might get one for 7,000. You might get one for 2,800 because you JV with somebody and all you did was bring them a buyer. So they say, I'll give you a finder's fee. Whatever the fee is, you add it. So if that's how that works. So you have to break this down in to what you need. You have to set a goal for yourself. Okay. So be more realistic. Exactly, Amber. Being more realistic is what you need to work on. Y'all get where I'm going with that? Okay. Now let's talk about, so now we know we need $2,800 a month. We're just going to say 5,000, right? So if I need 5,000 a month, I need to make 150 phone calls a day. And I need to work at least 5 days a week. So now out of this 180,000 that we gonna make, because I see how I do my own math and I'm working with y'all. Y'all think I'm just be over here writing stuff down for my health. No, I be really working with y'all. Y'all be trying to play me. Okay, so your $180,000 divided by 12 gives you that 15,000 a month, right? So you know what the monthly goal is. So now you still ain't made a phone call. We still trying to figure this out. So now that you have the goal, you know how many calls you're going to make, how many letters you need to send. I'm going to give you a tip. And this is something I normally reserve for my people that join my academies and my boot camps. But I'm going to tell you like this. I get my list and I send letters. Why? Because I worked in collections for 20 years. I send letters. I will send a letter out to every single person on the list. Why? Because then when I'm calling them, they're going to recognize my phone number. They're going to answer. I'll get more pickups that way. Y'all was missing that, right? If you want to send letters, you want to send a postcard, you want to send a text message first, whatever you want to send first, send it. But make sure that this is not your only form of communication. I sent a letter out to a lady and her address said Buffalo. But then when I looked at the house and the zip code, I was like, that's not Buffalo. That's one of the suburbs. Hi, King Tax Services. Thank you. I looked at it and I said, that's one of the suburbs. I'm sending letters out to everybody, whatever meets my criteria. She calls me back and says, hey, I'm interested in selling you my house. It's in Tonawanda, which is a suburb of Buffalo. And it was in good condition. So what happened? I'm going to sell her house. I don't care. Yes. Whatever you need me to do, lady, I'm going to do it. So that's the thing. You guys have to stop limiting yourselves. And that's rule number 1 in this. Stop limiting yourselves. But now that we figured out how we need to set our goal, we need to get 3 deals a month. The objective is 3 deals a month. These are your goals. 3 deals a month, 150 phone calls a day, working 6 hours a day. Okay, that's where we're at. Now, that would get us $180,000. Okay, these aren't guaranteed because we don't know how well you're going to work. And some of y'all get discouraged when you hear no. My sister did that to me. She was like, oh, I want to learn how to wholesale. I said, okay. So I gave her a list, told her to start calling. I said, what happened with the list? She was like, oh, nobody wanted it. This is not for me. How many calls did you make? And I said, never mind. I'm going to tell you what you did. She literally got my list, which I just emailed it to her, so I still had a copy of it. She got my list. She called 3 people. She spoke to 1 person Two people did, one person was a wrong number, one person was a voicemail, she didn't leave a message. The third person answered, said no, they're not interested in selling their house. She gave up. Oh, this isn't for me. This is too difficult. My sister's also a spoiled brat and don't like being told no. She don't care. I tell her whatever. Yeah, you got to get out of that. You got to get out of that mindset. No means not right now. Because guess what? I've had people tell me no, but because I was nice and I was respectful and I sent them these nice little cute thank you cards for talking to me. Yeah, I'm that type of person. Y'all ain't gonna never beat me at this game. Trust me, believe me, you ain't gonna never beat me at this. So I send thank you cards to even the people who tell me no. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know you may not want to sell now, but if you ever think about selling in the future, please reach out to me. I'd be interested in purchasing your property. To Lisa Robinson with my phone number. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to keep that card. They're also going to open it. People are like, oh, how you know they're going to open it? Easy. Because of this. Let me just hide some stuff. Y'all see this? This is my handwriting. It's a handwritten note. I learned that from my first coach in real estate. Handwritten notes go a long way. So then what I do is I send them that letter. They might not call you right now. They might not call you 6 months from now. They might call you next year, but they're going to call you. People will call you and come back to you and say, hey, I want to sell my house. Oh, hey, I remember you said something about selling my house and I might be able to save on the real estate agent fees. Yep. I remember you said you might be able to find a cash buyer for my home. Absolutely. Yeah, that's my job. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who want to come into the Get Wired Wholesale Academy, if you wanted to come into there, not only am I going to teach you guys how to wholesale non-distressed properties, because I'm so sick of y'all thinking that's all y'all can sell. People don't want them raggedy houses. They want the lot. So if you're going to do distressed property, you might as well sell land. We're going over land, we're going over virtual, we're going over creative finance strategies to wholesale. So if you want to use seller financing, lease options, tax deeds, tax liens, we're going to show you how to wholesale all of that inside the academy. So if anybody's interested, click the link in the bio and tap that first button. Wow, great idea for me to do with my tax clients. Yep. You need these deals. So now that you have the goal is $180,000 a year for y'all low hanging people. Oh, I want $100,000. Keep telling y'all, 900,000 is six figures too. So, and 999,000 is six figures. Okay. I'm just saying. So now we need $15,000 a month. So now we in this, we've gotten it. We've done the academy. We graduated. We're kicking butt and taking names in these wholesaling streets, right? And we're at $15,000. We made our first $15,000. Now we're gearing up to do it again because we're going to keep going. That's how you build a pipeline. You got to build a pipeline. So first thing you're going to do is that $15,000. Here's what I do. Y'all don't have to do what I do, but here's what I do. I tithe. I give to charity. I pay myself first. So I am my payroll, and then I reinvest. That's what I do with my money. Okay? Now, when you live in the world of percentages, and you got to pay taxes. Sorry about that. Forgot that. Okay, so those are the 5 areas where my money is going. And yes, King Tax Services, this part you really do need to do with your tax clients. These are the 5 areas where my money is going. Tithing, charity. Well, at least if you tithe, then why you do charity? Because I want to. Tithing, I give money to charity. I have payroll, which is me, my assistant, my VA, or payroll. Then I have to reinvest in my business. And then I have my taxes. Now, reinvesting in my business is paying the lease on my office utilities, my prop stream, my subscriptions. Those things are called operational costs. Okay. Now, they're also tax deductible, just so y'all know. Everything out here I just said is actually tax deductible. King Tax Services, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, now here's how this works though. If Delisa's business, Sarai Assets and Acquisitions Incorporated, makes $15,000 for the month of June, if I make $15,000 for the month of June, the first person I'm going to pay is me. Because if my bill's not paid and I'm struggling and I'm stressed out, guess what business is not getting done? The business of real estate. So I pay myself 30%. You don't have to pay yourself 30%. You pay yourself 50%. You could do 20, you could do 10. It's whatever you want to do. But I gave myself a raise this year because before, up until now, I was only paying myself 20%. This year, I gave myself a 10% raise because it's been 6 years since I gave myself a raise. How about that? Now, and I'm going to tell you how this works out. If I have $15,000 and I do 30%, that's $4,500, $4,500. Now, how many of y'all are making and be honest, if you're making it, that's cool. And congratulations. But a lot of us are not making $4,500 on their salary right now on their job. So if I go $4,500 to Delisa, the employee of the business, now subtract $15,000 from that, and now I still have $10,500 remaining. Now, y'all, well, Delisa, you said you was going to tithe. Right. The tithing is personal. That's not the business. That's the tithing is Delisa. So Delisa tithes 10%. She pays $450. Charity is 10%. That's going to be $1,500. Yep. I'm going to give $1,500 to a charity. I have 3 different charities that I like to give to. So that's going to be to charity for the business. So my business immediately gets a $4,500 tax write-off because they paid me. Immediately we'll get a $1,500 tax write-off because I gave to charity. See how that works? So now after the 1015, now I'm at 9,000. You gave yourself a raise this year too? Absolutely. $9,000. So I'm now at $9,000. Okay. Yeah, $9,000 that my business now has to do payroll, which is my VA, my boots on the ground, whoever that might be. I reinvest in my business and I got to set aside taxes. Now, I'm going to set aside 25% for taxes. Y'all like, what the heck, Delisa? You doing a whole lot for taxes? Yep, I am. So that 15,000, because at the end of the year, I got to do a lot of taxes. If you're self-employed, you got to pay self-employment tax. You still got to contribute to Social Security, even though you're self-employed. I don't know why y'all think this is free money. It's not free money. Somebody has to account for this money coming to you. So if your attorney or the title company is saying that they paid you out that money, you have to report that money, or else you're gonna be in big trouble come when they catch you. Okay, so 15,000 times 25% is $3,750. So out of my $9,000, $3,750 is gonna go in my tax account. Remember, a while back, I told y'all we have to have a tax bank account just for taxes. Everything you make in your business. So we're going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to tell y'all. And then King Tax Services is on Instagram. She's going to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. I made $15,000. The entire $15,000, every dime that you make for your business should go into one account. One. Everything should go into that one account. So everything. So if I get a consulting fee, it goes in that account. If I get a JV fee from another wholesaler or whatever, that goes in that account. If I close my own wholesale deals, it goes into that account. Okay. If you are buying rental property under the same business name that you are wholesaling with, it goes in that account. Everything should go in the same account. Okay. Then you have your other bank account. That's called your operational account. That's where all the money comes into. So when you need proof of income, that bank statement shows your proof of income. That bank statement shows your transaction history. That's the bank statement you give them. Get where I'm coming from now? That's why you do that. That's the bank statement you're going to give your accountant. You're going to give all your bank statements to your accountant, but if you give them that one first, because the only thing you're going to see coming out of that account is your money going into other areas. From that account, you're going to see your money go to your payroll account. From that account, you're going to see money get transferred to your tax account. From that account, you're going to see money go into your tithing, your charity account. From that account, you're going to go into your taxes, your payroll, and charity. All of that's going to be in that account. If you have a marketing budget, like you running ads, your promotions, if you're out and about and you're trying to get business in, whatever you do for marketing, you have a marketing account. Okay. And that's where that money gets transferred to. Now, when my lender says, hey, we need proof of income, we need proof of this, proof of that, I send them 3 bank statements from my operations account. Then what they say, oh, Delisa, we see you got money going into all these other accounts. If they need that, I'll show that, but I'll tell them up front, no money goes into those accounts. Money only comes out of those accounts. The only money that goes into that account is on that bank statement that you see. That's usually good enough. And they say, oh, okay, cool. And they're going about their business. So that's why you set it up. You want a clean banking profile and you want a clean credit profile. You want to keep it as clean and neat and organized as possible. Okay. So that's why we do that. So when you're really getting into this, you know exactly where you stand. It's easy for you to do your books every week, every month, or every year, however y'all do it. Because some of y'all don't do y'all books until the end of the year, which is crazy. But that's the only way to do it. If you want to pay yourself weekly, then you're going to do what came in this week. Same thing. Break it down 10, 20, 30%. See, operations, payroll, supplies, and taxes. You must file a 1099 NEC for you and your employees and subcontractors. So for all your people that you pay money to, you got to give yourself a 1099 NEC. Okay? Just so y'all know, that's what it is. Tax lady is giving me all this advice that I'm telling y'all to do. So that's how that works out. So $15,000 is already down to $9,000. That $9,000 is, we're going to take $3,750 from the $9,000 for taxes. Now we're down to $5,250. Guess what that $5,250 is? That's for me to pay my VA. That's for me. And this is your wholesaling account. Okay. So this is to pay your VA. That pays your prop stream fee. That pays your skip tracer. That pays your Airbnb. I was going to say Airbnb. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about wholesaling. So that's going to pay your ads. So if you run Facebook ads or Google ads, that's going to pay for that. If you buy bandit signs, that's going to come out of that $5,250. Keep in mind, you already got paid. So I took my $4,500 and I put it in my personal bank account. So now if I want to buy things on my personal side, I can show money coming into my personal bank account from my business account, because it says transfer from the name of the business. Yeah, she said, if y'all new to bookkeeping, start out weekly. Then once you get used to it, you can do monthly and quarterly. Okay. Now we down to $5,250. That is what we're reinvesting. That $5,000 is going to stay there. That $5,000, because $250, yeah, about $300-400 of it. No, the other day I said $947. Minus $947. That's how much it costs me to run my wholesale business each month. That gives me $4,303 that stays in the business bank account. That's your cash flow. And if you keep it in there and it comes up, now say next month you make $25,000. Guess what? $25,000 times my 30%. My pay went to 7,500 now. Okay. And just like my pay went up, everything else on here is going to go up too. So, but now instead of 4,300 at the end of the month, I'm going to have something else. But this also means that 4,300, that's for you. That's there for you in case something else comes up. Say you need to order office supplies. Say you need to do whatever it is that you need to do. You got it. Okay, great. Inbox me your number. We can talk. So that's what I want you to do so you guys can see what it is. This is how you have to live in percentages. Now we're gonna keep it real. If you're making $1,000 and you paying yourself 30%, how much is that? You only gonna make $300. However, if you made $100,000 that 1 month, that's gonna be $30,000. You see what I'm saying? So you guys have to, I want you guys to start getting into the mindset of living in percentages. Okay. You can, and out of your, and even with your 4,500, your 30% that you're paying yourself, I still want you guys to pay attention to what you're doing with that money. Because you still have to grow old. You still have a retirement. So you could say, hey, I'm going to put 10% of that away in retirement. I'm going to put 20% of this away for taxes, because you're going to have to pay your personal taxes. Okay. Yeah. You got to pay personal taxes. So you want to learn how to live in percentages and still maintain the lifestyle that you already maintain. Now, since we're talking about payroll and jobs and things like that, I'm going to say this again. Do not quit your day job, I say, until your side hustle or your business is making at least 3 times the amount of your salary that you have now. Why 3 times the amount, Delisa? Because you want to pay yourself at least the amount that you are making in your salary or more. You still want to be able to live your life, get your braids, get your weaves, get your wigs, get your haircuts, buy your new fancy rims for your cars, buy new perfume, new cologne, get your nails done, get your feet done. You get flued out, fly your girl out, whatever. You still want to be able to do all that stuff that you were already doing. So the objective is not to be broke. The objective is not to live, as we talked about last night in my group. We talked about living in sacrifice. We are tired. This is not for you to live below the lifestyle that you were already living. That's not why you stopped working. People say, oh, well, I work more now than I did. Yeah, you're going to work more now. You're going to put in way more hours when you first starting out. But if you start putting systems in place, you'll start buying back your time. So that's it. You guys have any questions? Any questions whatsoever on this? Let's go. Now, for those of you, because I know sometimes it takes a time delay. For those of you who don't know, this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the very last contract to close free workshop. I've done one every Wednesday for the past 4 weeks. This will be the 5th one. I did this to celebrate my birthday. My gift to you guys was to teach as many people as I possibly could how to wholesale real estate. Now, if you want to get in, the last class is, you're very welcome, Pink Lux Body. The last class is on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is free of charge. I'm going to tell you this. The least amount of time we've been in that class is 2 hours and 45 minutes. And the most so far has been 3 hours and 45 minutes. So we just get in there and I'm teaching and I'm telling you guys what to do, how we do it. And I'm teaching you the what. Now, if you want to get in, if you know what to do, I can show you how, which is the action inside the Get Wired Wholesaling Academy. We start July 5th. On the 5th of the month, we're going to just have like a 1 or 30 minute to an hour orientation. For those of you who have already paid for this, I'm giving you guys a brief schedule, what we're going to do the first week. The first day, July 5th, is not even counted as one of your days, to be honest. It's just an orientation. That's the day I've set aside. We're going to make sure everybody has system access. We're going to make sure everybody's got their materials. That's the day we're going to go through. And start getting this information to you, making sure all the information is there. And we're going to talk about the pre-work, because the pre-work is coming out today. I kid you not, I'm sending it out as soon as I'm off this live. So our pre-work is going to be done. And then we're going to enter into on Thursday, day one of class, which is Thursday. Classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If we ever need a makeup day, it's going to be on Saturday mornings. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. The Thursday, whereas week is day one, we're going to review if you have an LLC that you want to use, we're going to make sure everything is active. If you don't have, what does that realistic schedule look like for workers? Hold on one second, Amber, I'm going to get that to you. It's basically half. You're going to work 2 or 3 hours a day, not just, and you're going to fit it in. And I'm going to show you how you can fit it in. Now, we're going to start on Thursday. Thursday is going to be day one. That's where we're going to go over everybody's LLC. If you don't have an LLC and you have the funds to create your LLC, we're going to create your LLC right there in class. Yep, y'all heard me. We're going to create it right there in class. You're going to share your screen. You're going to be allowed to share your screen with me. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm going to show you exactly step by step what you need to do to set up your LLC. We're going to go to the irs.gov and get your EINs. We're going to go to the Dun & Bradstreet and get your DUNS numbers. We are going to set you up. Okay? That's day one. Then Tuesday, class is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All classes are going to be recorded. So if you can't make that class, the next day the recording will be dropped and available to you so that you can go and watch it and do it on your own time. Every Monday nights at 7 p.m., we will have makeup days, catch-up days, Q&As, and accountability. So everybody knows they can come in on that Monday as well. Monday is not mandatory. None of this is mandatory because everything's going to be recorded. But Monday night is when we're going to do that's like an insight session. So we can see where we are, what we are. If you have a deal and we haven't gotten to that part yet, but you need help with it, bring the deal to Monday night. People inside the class are going to have a way to get in contact with me to send me stuff so we can ask questions and everything else. So that's that. But we're going to set up your business Thursday. We're going to set everything up on Thursday. We're going to get you guys. Why is this doing this? What is this stuff that, they got things you can put on your thing now? Ooh. So when I say we're going to set you up, we're going to be, then on Tuesday, we're going to be doing, we're doing structure in the business. We're going to make sure everybody's got everything done. Thursday, I think that following Thursday, the third session, I think is when Kyra's coming in. And she's going to start talking to you guys about funding. Yep. Got special guests coming in. We got Kyra coming in. She's going to get you guys right for funding. Now, when I say that, what we're going to do is she's going to, again, make sure you're not missing anything that you would need to go to a bank to get funded. Why? Because a lot of the people who have joined this academy, a lot of you who come to me and say you want coaching, you all say, I want to flip houses. In order to flip houses, if you don't have any money, you have to use other people's money. That means the bank, resources, your family, friends, other resources, whatever. So we're going to set you guys up from day one to get funded. Because I don't want nobody out in the world saying they didn't get what they need. We weren't funding. We didn't do this. So we're going to get you funded. If you choose to move on to the next phase of that with Kyra, she's going to strategize with you to tell you what funding you need and which cards to apply for and how to get that structured. That's what she does. So she's phenomenal at that too. I know a couple of my clients, she's already gotten $50,000 for. So yeah, she'll teach you how to get it all done and worked out together. So that's going to happen. So that's just the first week, the first week or two, the first 2 weeks. And so interested in joining, click the link in the bio, tap that button, get with us. And this program goes from July 5th, which is orientation, all the way to September 30th. So this is not a game. It's not a test. I'm going to have a tax professional come in and talk to you guys about how to get your taxes and stuff right, what bank accounts you need, what banks, what tax codes you need, how and when you're supposed to pay your taxes based on how your business is set up. We're going to have somebody come in and talk to you about that. We're going to have a contractor come in, and the contractor's coming in to talk to you about construction costs, budgets, and how to write that up for your numbers and the basics. How much does a roof cost? How much does this demolition cost? Things like that. So we have a complete lineup of people. And I have some other guests that I'm trying to work out for you guys too, because I wanted to have a special guest at least once each section. And a section is July, August, September. So I wanted to have at least 2 or 3 people come in during those sections. So get ready, because it's about to go down. Okay. Now, Amber, you asked me about if a person was working full time. If you have a full-time job and you want to use wholesaling real estate as a side business, is very doable. The thing is, you have to map out your time. And we've done it. Me and Amber have done this before. Amber is one of my one-on-one clients, so she's done this with me before. The first thing we're going to do is write out your schedule for work. So you need your work schedule. Correct. You need your work schedule. If you're still with me on Instagram, drop the number 1 in the comments, because my Instagram is looking kind of funny. I just want to make sure that you guys can still hear me and see me. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is write out your work schedule. And I'll give you an example. When I worked at the collection agency, my schedule went 8 to 5 or 12 to 9. So from 8 to 5, I take a lunch at 1 p.m. Thank you, Kat. Okay, great. You guys can hear me later. Good job. Thank you. So if I'm working 8 to 5 and I take a lunch at 1 o'clock, on 1 o'clock, I might pull my laptop out in the break room and research some properties. Might run comps, whatever. Okay. Because when I get home, might do some skip tracing, because skip tracing is so easy to do. It's not as involved as everybody thinks it is. Okay. Now at 5 o'clock, this from single people, at 5 o'clock, you might have kids. You might have to pick them up from daycare. They don't get into bed. They do their homework, whatever. So from 7 to 9, single people, 7 to 9, you may be able to make calls. Right? From 9 to 11, because y'all ain't going to bed till 11, 12 o'clock at night anyway. From 9 to 11, organize for the next day. Organize for the next day. Read and study. Check your emails or catch up on emails during the day. That type of thing. Your main time frame to do the majority of your phone calls for a person that works is going to be your off days. So if you work 3 to 11, you have 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to get your work done, to get your business organized. Okay. If you work 8 to 5, you have from 6 to 9 to make calls, because you cannot legally make phone calls after 9 o'clock at night. Okay. 6 to 9 to make phone calls, and from 9 to 11 for prep work. Maybe that's when you're going to print out all your letters and get them mailed and get them stuffed in the envelopes. Maybe that's when you're going to get your text blast set up, because you don't sit there and just text. That's not a text blast. A text blast, you send it, you set it up in a system, and you go. And you hit one button and it sends all your text messages at one time. That's why it's called a blast. Okay. So you might want to do that. Or like I said, you might be getting your letters prepped. You might be pulling a list. Guess what? On Saturday mornings, for those of you who work Monday through Friday, from Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the perfect time to call. That's the perfect time to talk to somebody. Y'all don't believe me though. But yeah, it's the best time to talk to somebody. Also, so that's what I'm saying. Sundays, you take a rest day, or you make it a prep day. That might be the day you drive for dollars on a Sunday. Then come back and skip trace what you found and start making phone calls on Monday. I don't call on Sundays. I don't call on Fridays. That's just me though. You can do whatever works for you and your market that you're in. But I know a lot of the markets that I work are considered the Bible Belt. They don't play that call in their house on a Sunday. So they don't play that. And that's what it is. So you just have to map out when your off days are and what you're going to do. But the key to doing this is sticking to the schedule that you set up for yourself. All right. All right. Any more questions? Because I'm about to get ready to get on. Oh, yeah, it's almost time for my second. See, at 12 o'clock, I got something else I got to do. Because I got my schedule written out for today, too. 12 o'clock, I didn't do nothing important. I'm just going to start my laundry. So that is what I do. And that's how you guys should be living your lives as well. If you're going to be entrepreneurs, we definitely need to start living in percentages. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I will see you probably on Monday. If you're on the text list, if you're on the text and the email list, look out for some information that's getting ready to be sent out to you guys. If you want to get on the text list, not only will you get first crack at discounts on courses, classes, and trainings that we have available, live presentations that because we're going to be doing some in-person things as well coming up later this year. Merchandise is coming out later this year. If you want first dibs at all that stuff, get on the text list. Text the word diva in all caps to 716-306-3316. That is how you will always know when I'm going live, get first crack at it. Because a lot of my webinars and free workshops are limited seating. Like every Wednesday night, we only have room for 100 people. I blocked it at 100 people because I do Q&As during that process as well. And I want to make sure I get everybody's questions in. So if you want to get in on the free wholesaling training on this week, it's our last one for a long time, at least until September. It's the last one. I'm going to suggest that you get in there this week. Get in there, okay? If you want to get into the academy, but it is not set up, your checking and savings is not set up the right way, then we do have Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna so that you can pay them in installments. All right? Okay, my lovelies, I am going to go and start my laundry, eat my breakfast because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I'm going to eat my breakfast, start my laundry, and I got some more work to do because I got to get this pre-work out to the boot camp. I mean, not the boot camp, to the academy. So remember, I always tell you guys, my friends, I always say to my internet cousins, what I tell y'all, y'all can choose to be whatever y'all want in this life. I just hope that you choose to be kind because at some point in your life, somebody has been kind to you. And it's always pretty good to pay. It's a good feeling to pay kindness forward. Not only is it a good feeling, it makes you a better person, but if enough of us do it, make the world a better place. So I want you guys, thank you, Amber. I want you guys to go out and have an amazing day, have a productive day, and I will see you, if not tomorrow, I'll see you Monday. All right. Have a great day. Everybody be cool. All right. Bye.